Chapter 6. Listening is a superpower. Most people aren't truly heard. That's why they talk louder. Or stop talking altogether. You think you're listening, but are you really hearing? This chapter cracks open one of the biggest myths in communication, that listening is passive, soft, or secondary. In reality, it's the most powerful move you can make. When done right, listening disarms conflict, repairs connection, and turns defensiveness into trust. In Listening is a Superpower, you'll discover why most people are actually listening to respond, not to understand. How the human brain craves acknowledgment more than agreement. What it means to listen through emotion, not around it. We take you inside real-world moments where listening, not logic, changed the outcome. When silence said more than an argument. When validation calmed what facts couldn't. When presence made someone feel safe enough to stay in the conversation. You'll learn mirroring moments that signal empathy. You'll build the muscle of curiosity before correction. You'll gain scripts and practices that shift the energy of a room without saying much at all. Listening is not what you do while you wait your turn to speak. It's what you do to give someone else their turn to breathe. If you've ever felt like people don't open up to you, if you've ever tried to fix things when they just needed to feel seen, if you want your conversations to heal more than they harm, this chapter will give you a skill most people never develop. Because in a world full of noise, the rarest and most magnetic thing you can be is someone who really listens. You don't have to have the perfect response. You just have to prove you care enough to really hear. 1. Opening scene. You're not listening to me. Devin paced the living room, his tie loosened and his voice tight with frustration. I got blamed for something that wasn't even my fault, he said, dropping his bag on the couch. Kayla didn't look up from her laptop. Well, maybe you should have double-checked the files. Devin stopped cold, his eyes narrowed. You always take their side. Kayla finally looked up, startled. What? I was just saying... No, you weren't listening, Devin snapped. You were solving, judging, picking them over me again. My reflection. Kayla gave logic. Devin needed understanding. This wasn't about files. It was about feeling alone in the fire. 2. Real talk from Jermaine. Listening isn't silence. It's strategy. Most people think listening is the absence of talking, but real listening is a skill set. It's presence with purpose, a form of connection sharper than advice and louder than noise. You don't need to be a therapist. You don't need to nod endlessly and say, uh-huh. You need to do 3 things well. Be fully present, hear what's beneath the words, reflect it back with care. This is what great communicators do, and it's what most people are desperate for. 3. Define reflective listening. Reflective listening is not parroting, it's perceiving. It's saying, I don't just hear the what, I understand the why. It starts with stillness and ends with affirmation. Here's how it works. 1. Listen fully. Don't interrupt. Let the emotional energy breathe. 2. Reflect on the meaning. Don't just repeat their words. Mirror their experience. 3. Check understanding. Ask if you got it right. This builds trust like little else can. Example, partner says, no one respects me at work. Reflective listener. You're feeling overlooked, like your efforts don't matter? They nod. Connection made. Emotional safety unlocked. 4. Case study. Amir and his manager, Lila. Amir stared blankly at the Gantt chart on the screen. The deadlines kept shifting, expectations ballooned while the resources shrank. I'm trying, but everything changes midstream, he told his manager, Lila. It's exhausting. Lila didn't launch into solutions. She didn't pull up a spreadsheet. She leaned back, locked eyes with him, and said, Sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed because nothing feels stable. You keep adapting, but it's like the target moves every week. Is that right? Amir blinked. For the first time in 2 weeks, his shoulders dropped. Yeah, he said, voice softening. Exactly that. My reflection. Lila didn't fix the project. She fixed the pressure. 5. Why listening is often missing. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't listen. They reload. While you're talking, they're mentally preparing their defense, their advice, their rebuttal. They don't listen to understand. They listen to respond. This is how good intentions go bad. You say, I'm tired, and they say, you should sleep more. You say, I feel overwhelmed, and they say, just relax. You say, I need support, and they say, you're too sensitive. You don't feel seen. You feel dismissed. 6. Listener archetypes and how to be the right one. Here are 4 common types of listeners. 1. The fixer. Offers solutions before hearing the full problem. 2. The mirror. Makes it about their experience. That happened to me too. 3. The competitor. One-ups you. You think that's bad? Listen to my story. 4. The ghost. Nods but mentally checks out. Wait, what did you just say? Be the 5th kind. The anchor. An anchor stays present, grounded, curious, unthreatened by emotion. Their calm becomes your safety. 7. Author reflection. The conversation I saved by listening. I once met a friend for lunch, David. He looked fine, ordered confidently and cracked jokes, but something was off. I'm good, he said. I leaned in. You don't sound good. He shrugged. Just life stuff. I paused. Want to talk about it? He did, and he didn't stop for 25 minutes. I didn't fix it. I didn't advise. I didn't interrupt. I just nodded, reflected, and let his words land. In the end, he exhaled and said, Man, I didn't even realize how much I needed to get that out. That's when it clicked. Listening wasn't passive. It was service. 8. Listening is leadership. Every great leader is a great listener. Not because they have the answers, but because they know when to be silent. They hold the space so others can step into their own solutions. They don't fill the silence out of discomfort. They hold it, trusting something deeper will rise. They say things like, Tell me more. What's the hardest part for you right now? I want to make sure I'm understanding. Can I reflect that back to you? Leadership isn't barking louder. It's hearing deeper. 9. Reader exercise. Try the mirror moment. Choose someone close to you, friend, partner, teammate. Ask them, How have you been really feeling lately? Then shut your mouth. Let them talk. When they pause, reflect. What I hear is, or sounds like you're carrying. Don't correct. Don't fix it. Don't relate it back to you. Just reflect, confirm, and validate. Notice what changes, especially in the energy between you. 10. Closing thought. Listening creates safety, not silence. People don't want you to be perfect. They don't need the best advice, the smartest solution, or the most polished words. They want to feel less alone. And that starts when you stop performing and start hearing. So next time someone says, You're not listening to me, don't defend, don't explain, lean in and say, You're right. Let me try that again. Because the conversation you save might just be the relationship you protect.